My name is Emily Hehl. I'm a stage director and I'm currently working with Vienna State Opera. I'm freelancing in Europe and I'm connected to a Belgian theatre company called Niet Company. For me, opera is always the art of the collective. And if you look at where theatre comes from, it's Greek theatre, and the collective, the chorus, is the starting point of theatre. And opera, again, is the art form of collectives, because you have the orchestra, you have the chorus, you have the ensemble, sometimes you have dancers. And in the combination of these people, you could never direct every single person. And that's, for me, the wonderful thing about theatre, that you can create this broad picture. And the audience gets to choose what they would want to perceive and which narration they want to follow. Whereas in film, you have a camera which tells you where to look at. And so to preserve this openness of the image and the openness of the narration is something I really care about. And for me, I really believe in a horizontal idea of theatre, which means that every musician is as important as a single chorus member and a single soloist on that stage, because all of these people, they bring energy into a room, and every source of energy has the possibility to connect with the people in the audience. And that's my understanding of opera, of Musiktheater. This sometimes forces you to rethink the form of presenting opera, but I think that's a wonderful aspect to dive into, and I think there is a big potential when you think about, for example, the space between concert and opera. I think there's a big potential for a possible future of Musiktheater. So for me it's quite simple, because I want to work with the people on that stage, and the people on the stage and the audience, this is what I care about. And I care about who these people are and how they interact with each other. And I think it's my job to create portraits of these people, portraits of these artists and their relation to the characters they represent. I always try to not cover a singer in a character, but to always preserve the human aspect of this person on that very stage. Absolutely, it's living art after all, and this is the beauty of theatre and of opera, and this spontaneity and this unpredictable things that can happen when you work with people and when you work with arts and artistic means which are independent after all. Things can happen that you could have never imagined, and that's, for me, really the beauty of opera and of theatre. I think the biggest challenge is vulnerability, because this is, on the one hand, what an audience actually wants to experience from people on a stage, is this vulnerability and seeing people fail as well and seeing people shine. But all of this comes not from perfection and not from some kind of projection, but from being vulnerable and fragile. And if I would aim to create something like this, I have to work in a way like this as well. And being vulnerable and being not perfect is something no one likes to be, if we're frankly honest. And then also, of course, the moment you put something on a stage, you're somehow responsible for what is happening on that stage. And there's craft, there's technique, but there is no right and no wrong in the arts, which is the beauty of it. But that's also the brutality of it. And there is no right and wrong in the judgment of your own profession. And all you have is your own intuition to trust, or the opinion of other people. So what gets me up in the morning is the hope for a little coffee, first of all, but after that, for me, music is the beginning of all of what I do. And I've always been in love with listening to voices, to choruses especially. And these moments, sitting in a concert or sitting in an opera hall, it doesn't matter, or a little lead concert somewhere, feeling these moments where you get these goosebumps. We all know these moments, and they've been talked about so much for a reason. I think it's that, very simply. The moment that you have the feeling that you actually got touched by someone or got moved, or you felt you had this little connection that is so valuable because it's gone again. And I think being able to experience these things which won't last in a world which is so digitalized and everything is meant to last, and being meant to be captured, to be able to experience things which can't, is something that is very precious to me.